live picture from Philadelphia as Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton and her running mate Tim Kaine just took the stage at a rally in the city of brotherly love. Meantime, the issue of foreign policy is looming very important in the race now. Just over 2 weeks until Election Day. And it's been almost a week since the offensive to drive ISIS out of Mosul in Iraq. And joining me now, Fox News military analyst and my friend, Colonel David Hunt. All right, starting with Mosul. So last week, all of a sudden, there is this initiative. We're going into Mosul, and, you know, this is it. And so I say to myself, what just happened? Why now? What have we been doing? Does the election have anything to do with this?
Yeah, it has everything to do with it. I mean, the Iraqi military was just about disbanded, ran off the battlefield 2 years ago, left 50,000 pieces of equipment, and we've been training it for 2 years, we the Americans. And they were not quite ready, but the president made a decision, and all wars are political, so it's timing. I think it's bad timing because the Iraqi military is not quite ready, and we've got 6,000 Americans over there right now, 2,000 of which are in direct line of combat. So it's a political decision.
We lost one yesterday?
Yeah, last week, Thursday.
Okay.
First one soldier.
All right, and you know, when you say they weren't quite, 2 years ago they were dropping their weapons and their pants and everything when ISIS came through, and I just remember reading not that long ago that all the money we had spent training them, there were like 3 people trained, and now we
spent $17 billion training. Billion. Training that military. It wasn't bad. Maliki, the prime minister, fired all of his officers, all the Sunni officers, and replaced them with Shia. And that was the main reason they ran off the battlefield. All I'm just saying is it takes a lot longer than 2 years to build that kind of an army back up to take a city like Mosul.
All right, now assume that they take Mosul. All right, then what happens in Iraq? Is it the same thing as when we left before? I mean, ISIS is still going to be operating in neighboring Syria, correct?
Yeah, but Iraq's almost a failed state. And Iran's right in the middle of it.
So what does that mean?
It means it doesn't work very well. I mean, Iran has got all the taxis, all the telephones, all the business. They're connected religiously. So, but the Iraq itself does not run very well at all. The problem with ISIS is, yes, we'll take Mosul, probably take 2 weeks to a month, but they're going up into Syria. The problem going after them in Syria is going to be the Russians. But until you get into Raqqa and Aleppo, ISIS is not going to be stopped. This taking Mosul stops the caliphate.
Okay.
It doesn't stop ISIS.
It stops the caliphate, but not ISIS, and then we can't follow ISIS into Syria because of Russia.
True.
Okay. Now, Iran has always wanted Iraq. I mean, they've always lusted for that country, correct? Okay, so if we give up, if someone said to me, you know what, if Iran is the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world's largest sponsor of terrorism,
close, sure.
and we give them, Iran, $150 billion of American money, what does that make us in terms of the sponsoring terrorism?
Okay, the only one problem, Judge, is that was their money we gave them.
Yeah, you believe that? What about the money we sent on the plane with no markings on it that they said they couldn't wire? Why are you laughing?
Iran is a terrorist state. There's no question about that. But the consequence of the Iraq war is that Iran became a superpower in the Middle East. They have absolute control over it.
So we give them $150 billion more? If they're such terrorists, why are we giving them more money?
First of all, one of the reasons we did that is you make treaties with your enemy is to fight, get more information and to get some handle.
We couldn't even get our men back. What are you talking about? Then they put our sailors on their knees.
It wasn't perfect at all.
It wasn't perfect. It wasn't worth it. I know you're a colonel and you know more than I do, but they're telling me I gotta go. I gotta go? Colonel David Hunt, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
All right, and street justice is still ahead. Plus, I met a fascinating guy in Las Vegas last week who told me some things I didn't know about millennials and this election. You're going to meet him next.